guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is Saturday, June the 9th. I want to thank you for taking that little walk with me along the boardwalk yesterday and watching that little elegant wedding with me. I thought it was so quaint and unique, and the newly married couple looked to be very happy. Anyway, we're going to pick up with my autobiography today, another little story. So in my last video, I told y'all about John and I moving to Hollywood, Florida, and how Jason and I nearly drowned in the Bermuda Triangle. But then the W.T. Grants there, the manager got a promotion to be the manager of W.T. Grants in the Gentilly section of New Orleans, Louisiana. So, of course, he needed an assistant manager, so he did ask John to come with him. And, of course, we were happy to go back to Louisiana, to that area, and to get settled, and hopefully that John would have a good, stable job there. Of course, Dort, she was pissed off because we moved back from Florida, and she was mad because she had wanted to take a vacation to Florida. Not to visit us, but just to come down there and have a free place for her to stay. So we kind of ruined her vacation plans for her. And so that was disappointing for Glenda Merle to have to hear that from her own mother. You know, she said, why did y'all have to move back? But I guess that was to be expected. So we did move back to New Orleans, and we went to Dell and Doug's, where we had stored our furniture and got our furniture out of the storage, and so then we found an apartment in New Orleans East. This was in the summer of 1975. So this is move number 11. John and I hadn't even been married 5 years, and we've already moved 11 times. So we settled into this little apartment there in New Orleans East. And that was also the time after the Vietnamese War had just ended, and there were a lot of Vietnamese relocating to that area. So a lot of our neighbors in that area were Vietnamese, and they did not speak a word of English. But the little apartment that we rented, of course, whenever we moved, John always had to be at work the next day, so he just kind of dumped everything in the middle of the living room. And then I had to get up the next day and just, you know, try to unload and unpack everything. Here's a picture of Jason. He's in the, outside the little patio of the apartment. He had gotten himself into a little mud hole. But on that patio, we had two beautiful avocado trees, and they were just loaded with avocados. And I had gotten a job and went to work that day, and when I got home, every avocado was gone. Somebody had climbed over the little fence there on the patio and picked all of our avocados. Oh, that made me so mad. But the job that I got was at a shipyard there in Gentilly called Equitable Shipyards. And it was located right there on the Industrial Canal. And next to it was the Louisiana coffee plant. So we could smell the coffee beans roasting every day. And so that was a pleasant thing to go into every morning. But I got a job, and I got a really good job. I started working for the executive vice president, and his name was Kirk Kerstetter. And he was a very distinguished and very intelligent man. He was an engineer, and he had developed a few patents for some barges, and those barges were called lash barges, which stood for lighter aboard ship. And they were not self-powered. They were just a floating or watertight barge, and those barges had to be loaded onto a mothership. But that's what we built at that shipyard. So I learned a lot, and it was a very interesting job, and I really enjoyed it. And, of course, for Secretary's Day, Mr. Kerstetter always took me out to eat. And that one particular Secretary's Day, he took me down to the French Quarter to the Royal Sonesta Hotel. and we dined in that fine dining area there in the restaurant. So that was quite a treat for Glenda Merle. So also Jason, I caught him one day. He was coloring on the wall. So there he is, thinking he's going to sneak and get away from Mommy and color on the wall. And then we took Jason to Fort Pike. It was a state park there in New Orleans, and so we took him there one summer, and that's Jason and Glenda Merle sitting there on the wall at the Fort Pike. And then we took him down to the French Quarter. This was the summer of 1975, and he was 2½. And they had those little horsehead posts there where they, back in the old day, where they used to, you know, tie up the horses when they would ride them into town. So that was quite an interesting time, and John and I, we were getting along pretty good. You know, he was drinking a good bit, and that did start to affect our marriage. But I loved him, and he loved me, and he did treat me good. So I just want to thank y'all for coming back each time that I post a new video, and for supporting me, and for all of your sweet comments and supportive comments. A couple of you have asked me, where do I buy my tops? Most of them come from Chico's, and it's a little boutique, and you can order online, but I usually, there's several in this area, and so I usually just go to the store and look on the sale rack and buy them when they have them for half price. Now this top came from Macy's. I've had it a couple of summers. It has a little peacock feather design on it. And this is Macy's own name brand. It's called Style and Company. So I was just wondering if y'all think that I should have a little sidekick, because my friend DebraJoy, she has Hazel, and my good friend in South Carolina, she has, her name is Ruthy D. She has an excellent channel, so y'all need to hop over there and check out her channel. But she has a dog named Chewy, and then they just adopted a dog yesterday, and they have named him Solo. And then my friend over at BlindViews, he has his little puppet, Seymour. And then my other YouTube friend, Camo Dave, he has his little puppet named Crotchy. So I was thinking maybe I need a little sidekick. So if y'all can think of something that I could use as my little sidekick, you know, I could bring Fofi back. Oh, it would be so soothing, you know, to sit here with my Fofi and just, you know, all of these little sensory things and this little pleasure that the Fofi gives. So y'all just leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and just keep on coming back. Bye now.